Number 1.
Listen, Detroit's numbers, data, I still question them if they got to a Super Bowl situationally. But, I mean, they're the second team to score 50-plus points in back-to-back home games since the 70 merger. It's like a college team. They get ahead. They're Randy Moss Patriots, where they get ahead of so many teams by 17 points at the beginning of the second quarter that it actually makes their defense much more lethal because everybody by the mid-second quarter, you have to pass. So even though I don't love all their defensive personnel, it's the best third down defense on any given Sunday in the league because everybody in Detroit knows what's coming. It's the Randy Moss Patriots. Was that the best Patriots defense? No, but when you lead 27-7 mid-second quarter, there's only one way to get back in the game. You have to throw, and your edge rushers know it. There you go.
All right, let's talk about the Detroit Lions. I've been thinking about this a lot, honestly. I'll be honest. The Detroit Lions rent a lot of space in my head for free. I think about them a lot because they're just such a motivating team. They're like every sports motivational commercial, like wrapped into one. It makes me think of just like I like used to be obsessed, especially when I was younger. All of those commercials. I'm like when you get like music and sports together and stuff like that, and some great inspiring quotes, like that gets me. That's why I love things like Hard Knocks when you have the narration and the music and you show them like training and it's, you know, you have the narration giving some sort of inspiring quote, or like any of like the boxing 24/7 stuff. Like I'm a total sucker for all of that. And that's who the Detroit Lions feel like they are all the time. It makes me think of like, you know, protect this house, you know, those types of commercials, or like the commercial of like Amari Stoudemire, you know, tell me I can't, I don't hear you, when he was like, you know, when he was coming back from an injury, or like the old Allen Iverson commercials where they show like every single injury that he's ever had, and it shows him like, you know, dribbling down through the streets and training and stuff like that. Like it just makes me think of just like all of everything you love about sports, everything you love about it, right? Just the inspiration, the hard work, the dedication. Like we always say, blood, sweat, and tears. Like you believe this team truly is blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, the intensity is just second to none. I mean, it fires me up. It really, really does. Like I just want to put on a uniform and just get out there, man. Like I really do. Like I'll think about it and just be like, all right, I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go record videos. Like I got to do something. I got to make myself feel like I am doing something. I mean, the intensity is just there. And when you have the intensity and you have the quality and the execution and the talent, right? It's the opposite of all bark, no bite. They are bark and bite. It is, we are going to bark and you're either going to step to us, and most likely not. But if you do, you better be prepared. You better be prepared, because we are going hard. We are going hard. I mean, think about it. Think about this. The Detroit Lions have obviously rock teams, which I talk about how I only care so much about that, especially when you rock bad teams. I mean, but we have a lot of teams out there, a lot of top teams, pretty much every single top team, except the Lions, where you could really point to a team laying an egg and not playing well, where you're just kind of like, ugh, that was not a very good game. This was really bad performance. Now, I'm not going to act like every single Lions game was beautiful and perfect, but there was really no game where you could be like, that was a really, really bad game. The closest you can get to that is the Bucs game and maybe week 1 against the Rams. But at this point, week 1, we can throw that out. And against the Bucs, like they were still there. It wasn't a perfect game, obviously, and they lost. But it wasn't a game, considering how this season unfolded, that you could really be like, you know what? That is a part of their identity, right? Like the Kansas City Chiefs have struggled, the Buffalo Bills have struggled, the Baltimore Ravens have struggled, and you can point and say, well, you know what? This is kind of like a fundamental issue with their identity, whether it be lack of weapons on offense, whether it be inconsistent defense, whether it be questionable play calling, or, you know, whatever it may be. You can't say that about the Detroit Lions. You maybe can't say that about the Philadelphia Eagles because a bunch of their tough games were with injuries, but their game against the Browns kind of throws that out. If they played big and dominated the Browns and won very convincingly, then you would be able to really go all in and say, well, some of their pullbacks were because of injuries, and you could maybe give them a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt. But I really think that's where the Detroit Lions are separate from everyone else in that regard. And again, so much of it comes down to the fact that they are bark and bite. Like there's that expression, right? It's like the dog didn't know what to do once he caught up to the car or whatever. And it's like, well, this dog will rip the tires, smash the windshield, smash the mirrors, tear apart the seats, and flip the car over. I mean, like it's just such an all-in team. They just go so hard. And a big part of me wants them to win the Super Bowl because, like, and I'm hoping that, like, someone's filming this. Like, there's going to be some sort of, like, documentary, like, some Last Dance type thing. Because I just, like, I want to see it. I want to see, like, the quotes and the moments and the music. Like, you can make a movie about it. I mean, it's just like, you feel fired up. I mean, I know you have to feel fired up watching this team and seeing some of this. Like, I already told you guys before, like, I have it already saved on my phone from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Of when he's, the one clip where someone, I think it was a coach or whoever, was like, why did you go down? And he's like, well, I already got the first down. I'm not trying to get hurt. And he was like, I don't care. People can make fun of me. He's like, I'm sick of being hurt. And then another play, he, like, gets a touchdown. And he starts screaming. He's like, I'm built for this. I'm built for this. And I'm like, I watch that all the time because I'm like, yes, let's go. I'm built for this. I actually said that one time because I was so fired up when I was talking about making YouTube videos and stuff like that. It was just like, let's go. So when you see this, you're just like, oh my God. And that's why it's funny. Last week that they were ranked third. That was always insane. That always made no sense. And this is why I laugh. Like, they were ranked third, and then they demolished the Jacksonville Jaguars and Mac Jones, and now that convinces you that they're one now? Like, come on. It doesn't make sense. They were always number one. They are without a doubt the most dominant, most intimidating team in the NFL. The only thing you're banking on, this is what Colin kind of keeps saying as an out, is you're banking on that they don't have the true experience, right? They haven't been to a Super Bowl. They haven't won a Super Bowl. But you got to get it one way or the other. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid didn't have, and Travis Kelce, and, they didn't have that. They eventually had to get it for the first time as well. But that's like the one negative you could say about this team. And Colin keeps saying, situationally, I don't trust them. Well, you know what? I don't know about that anymore. I don't know why you're so confident in that. I don't know why that's like, it's such a given that situationally you're concerned that that's going to be like an Achilles heel for the Detroit Lions. Because I'm just not so sure that that's true. This is not last year. This is this year. Everybody has evolved. Everyone's playing better. Seriously, I don't care what the stats say, because stats aren't always equal year to year. Everybody is playing better this year. Everybody. The coaches are coaching better. The players are playing better. I'm sure the chefs are cooking better. Like, everyone's there. Everybody is 100% all in. I think last year, there was a lot of convincing. They had to convince themselves, hey, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And understandably so, right? They were just getting going. And I've talked about this as well, is that you need to be able to really win. And once you reach a level, it's no longer like, I can do this. It's like, I know I can do this. I know. And obviously the best way to get that is to have, obviously, truly win a Super Bowl. Like, Patrick Mahomes doesn't need to convince himself that he can win a Super Bowl, that he can come back from being down. He's done it. He knows it. He doesn't need to self-talk himself into it. He just needs to remind himself. It feels like the Detroit Lions have skipped that step in a positive way. That they have that insane belief of like, I know we haven't done it, but there is not a shadow of a doubt that we won't do it. We absolutely, positively will do it. Let's go. And we're not skipping steps. Sometimes when you skip those steps, it's like you're skipping the actual steps, the hard work, the dedication in doing it. You're already counting your chickens before they hatch. And they're not doing that. They're taking care of all of their business. So not only do they believe that they're already essentially Super Bowl champions, they also know that they got to put in all that hard work. I mean, it's just crazy. Like they know what's right there for them to achieve. And it's just, it's so motivating. I mean, they just go so hard. I mean, seriously, They really, really do. It's just ferocious. So yeah, them being number one really makes a lot of sense, obviously, if you can't tell from my own level of intensity and belief in this team. And yeah, I mean, it's just they got to continue to obviously take care of business. The Eagles are right behind them in terms of the number one seed. So obviously, you want to see the Lions not drop any tough games. They obviously have a few more tough games ahead of them. And yeah, it's just this team is obviously shaping up to be something special, and can't wait to continue to watch this all unfold. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Detroit Lions finally officially being number one according to Colin's herd hierarchy? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.